Coming up on Live at 11, experts talk about the solid rocket boosters that may have touched off the space shuttle accident. We'll update the investigation. And we'll show you a house that won't rot, has good insulation, and is too tough for termites. Could this be the future of construction? Then in sports, the story of the Caps' scrappy battle against the Hartford Whalers. The news is next.
You're looking at the beginning of a very anxious moment. An empty box of America's favorite fries.
No more fries?
No more fries?
Well, take heart. For a limited time, when you buy any large sandwich and a large order of fries, you get 30% more fries free.
More fries?
More fries?
30% more fries free. Of course, we can't put an end to all anxious moments.
It's a good time.
But we can help in the fry department.
For the great taste of McDonald's.
Hello? Oh, hi, Mama. How's... What? Jimmy's lost. Mama, you check the toy department. Hold on, Mama. That's the call waiting signal. I'll be right back. Hello?
Mama?
Oh, Jimmy.
Grandma's lost.
With call waiting, your loved ones get something much nicer than a busy signal. They get you. Call C&P Telephone at 1-800-638-6363.
Jerry was doing his math. Ann was straightening out our budget. I was struggling with the taxes. Things were out of control. And then, there it was. What's an office calculator doing here?
It's from Texas Instruments. It's portable.
And fast.
Two-color printing.
Texas Instruments introduces 2 new office-style calculators, priced for the home.
Can we keep it?
You're watching Channel 4, Washington's leading station for news and information. This is the weekend edition of Channel 4 News, a complete summary of today's news and a first look at tomorrow, presented by Susan Kidd, weather with Tom Kiran, and sports with Scott Clark. And now, Channel 4 News, live at 11.
Good evening, I'm Susan Kidd. Tonight, NASA investigators are reportedly close to determining the cause of the explosion that shattered the Space Shuttle Challenger, killing all 7 crew members. Members of NASA's investigation team arrived today in Huntsville, Alabama, where they'll talk to employees at the Marshall Space Center. Workers there put together the shuttle's propulsion system. One theory now is that a problem with a solid rocket booster caused the explosion. NASA has released pictures of Tuesday's launch showing a plume of flame spurting from an apparent rupture in one of the boosters. The flame could have burned into the main fuel tank, causing the explosion. NASA scientists say a rupture would be considered an engineering problem that could be quickly fixed, possibly allowing for another space shuttle flight in June.
That this is fundamentally a sound system. It's gone through 24 successful flights. There was obviously an accident. There's a problem there. But the overall configuration and design we believe to be fundamentally sound, and we don't think it'll take a very long time to get this problem corrected.
During a normal flight, the solid rocket boosters are jettisoned, recovered, reassembled, and packed with fuel for another flight. Engineers familiar with the process say Challenger's problems could have started when the boosters were reassembled.
Yes, it could have been a simple mistake by one person, but that would be tough. Usually, when it's put together, there's an inspector that is inspecting what that guy did. So it would be tough for it to be just one person's mistake. It would probably be a series of mistakes.
Meanwhile, the search for shuttle debris continues, but today searchers said they were finding a lot of empty ocean and few pieces of the shuttle. Today, there were more memorial services for the 7 astronauts who died. One of those services held in the district at the Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Among the worshipers, a man who works at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center and his family.
Sitting inside, I very much felt that it was a grief that needed to be shared with other people, and this was the first opportunity that we had had as a family to participate in a group ceremony. We saw the things on television in the last few days and were very touched by all of them, but we felt a need to be with other people in an official service that we participated in.
Inside the service, members of the congregation lit 7 candles to remember each of the crew members. It's like adding insult to injury, the words of the stepmother of astronaut Gregory Jarvis as the family returned to their Orlando, Florida home after attending memorial services in Houston to find their car had been stolen. The car has been recovered, and a 17-year-old is charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. The boy says he didn't know who owned the car. Mrs. Jarvis told reporters, "I would not want to live through this week again." In D.C. tonight, police are investigating a fatal shooting outside a Korean-owned grocery store in Southeast. The man shot to death has been identified as 33-year-old Johnny Bazemore. Police say he was shot by a security guard after being removed from the store. Police say Bazemore pulled a knife in the store's parking lot. He was ordered by the security guard to drop the knife, and when he refused, he was shot. Bazemore was pronounced dead at Greater Southeast Community Hospital. No charges have yet been filed in the case. This is the last Sunday before the much-publicized presidential election in the Philippines. It's been a bitter campaign between President Ferdinand Marcos and his opposition, Corazon Aquino. In Manila today, some 6,000 leftist protesters marched to the presidential palace and burned effigies of President Marcos and President Reagan. Inside churches today, there was more politicking. Catholic bishops ignored a government order to stay out of politics. They read a pastoral letter warning of cheating and fraud in the upcoming election.
Many of you have courageously resisted bribes and pressures in the past. We trust you will do the same in these elections.
80% of the Philippines' residents are Catholic, and the church today became a political stage for Corazon Aquino, First Lady Imelda Marcos, and supporters on both sides. And in Haiti, security forces now say at least 55 people have been killed by troops, scores wounded in 2 days of protests against President for Life Jean-Claude Duvalier. The government had reported only 16 people killed. Although the capital appeared calm today, the Duvalier government is now accusing the Catholic Church and Protestant missionaries of stirring up unrest. The churches have voiced the strongest opposition to the Duvalier government. Protests were reported in 2 more Haitian cities today, but no violence reported in either. Pope John Paul II had a firecracker thrown at him today as he continues his tour of India. Police in New Delhi say they picked up a suspect, a man who appeared of, quote, unsound mind. He was arrested after he reportedly tossed a noisy but harmless firecracker at the Pope as he celebrated Mass before about 25,000 people. The firecracker burned carpet near the Pope, but no one was hurt. The Pope appeared undisturbed. In holding the Mass and meeting today with Indian officials, the Pope had ignored denunciations of him by militant Hindus. Well, if you've ever thought of building a house, you'll want to listen to our story coming up on the latest craze in home construction. And Tom Kieran will be here to tell us how long springtime will last. Weather coming up.
We've got the shape you want to be in.
Your Lincoln Mercury dealers announce 7.9 annual percentage rate financing, an attractive figure to get your budget into shape now. 7.9% financing on manual transmission Mercury Lynx, on the sleek Mercury Topaz, on the V6 Mercury Cougar, plus 7.9% financing on the 1985 Merkur XR4 Ti. At this rate, you've got a great way to get into shape.
We've got the shape the shape you want to be in.
Every once in a while, you hear people complain about how small the seats are on the Eastern Shuttle. Come on. I've been taking the shuttle for years. I even hear New York Air bragging that their seats are 23% roomier. But that's not going to make me switch shuttles. No, sir. I mean, Eastern's fine. They give me all the room I need to stretch out.
When you send a package to Europe, do you get that sinking feeling that it could be anywhere? Here, there, out of your hands, lost? Well, now Federal Express is going to Europe. We'll make sending a package there as easy and reliable as it is here. 2-day service to London, Frankfurt, Zurich, Brussels, Amsterdam, and Paris. On our own planes. Now that you know Federal Express is going to Europe, why fool around with anyone else?
Going shopping with these? They can cost you 18, 19, 21% interest. Well, Chevy Chase Savings and Loan thinks that's too high, so they're introducing a rate so low, it's making national headlines. 14% Visa and MasterCards. 14%. And no annual fee until July. For an application, call 1-800-523-2484. Because who needs the money more? You or your bank?
Some Northwest Washington residents say they're outraged at plans to build a short parkway through their neighborhood near Tinley Circle. It would be called the Glover Archibald Parkway and would run near the corner of Van Ness Street and Wisconsin Avenue. At a protest march against the parkway today, residents said no one was notified of the plans. City Councilwoman Polly Shackleton is reportedly asking that the construction permit be revoked. A new concept in home construction is coming into the Washington area market. Its backers say it produces a house that's literally strong as steel, inexpensive, sturdy, and energy efficient. Joe Johns reports.
This is a house literally as strong as steel, a steel frame house, the second of its kind in the Washington area, according to its builders. Steel frames are standard on many commercial structures, but the idea apparently has not been very popular in the local home building industry. Robert Congedo and his company, Environmental Associates, hope the concept catches on.
What happens if lightning strikes the house?
Well, in that case, it would actually be better than if you're in a wood-framed house, because what causes problems in a wood house is the electricity's resistance in the wood, which builds up heat and would cause fire. This house is actually grounded. It's got a ground rod just for the steel structure, so the electricity would pass harmlessly to the ground.
The owners of this house are Christine and James Ferguson, who have a keener than average eye for building design and quality. The Fergusons are both engineers.
As far as the floor plan is concerned, we helped draw it up with the interior walls not being load-bearing. You can move them around however you desire, which was very nice. You get the kind of house that you want.
Walkout basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want the walkout.
You had the room for the walkout.
It won't be completed until March. Nonetheless, a number of people passed through today, some giving thought to building a steel frame house of their own.
From what I understand, that the window is slightly greater than it would be a conventional house. That's the biggest thing I'd buy. And obviously, since you've got thicker walls, the installation would be a lot greater.
When it's finished, the house should cost the Fergusons about $65,000. Besides all the other apparent advantages, Environmental Associates says the house has a lifetime guarantee against the hardiest termite. Joe Johns, Channel 4 News.
Maryland State Senator Stuart Bynum is joining the crowded field running for the congressional seat of Representative Michael Barnes. Barnes is running for the Senate.